All right, we're going to go over three thoughts or three ways of thinking that you cannot bring into your future. There's ways of you processing information. There's ways of you being. There's thoughts and thinking that you can't take with you. Things that you've believed, thought processes that were handed down to you. And I'm going to give you three key things that you can't take with you. Three ways of thinking that can't go to the next phase of your life. Number one. Number one is the number one thought that you cannot take with you in the next phase of your life is, I am not enough. You have to stop believing that. Here's what we know. There has not been anything designed to measure the heart and the will of a human being. You do not know what God has in store or stored up in you until you test it out. Have you tried out everything? Do you know exactly what you can and cannot do? No, you don't, because you're still alive. And what's possible still hasn't even happened yet. So still, what you need to know is that you are enough and that God has something special in you and that you are here for a special reason. But guess what? You just have to take a little time and figure out, what's my purpose? What's my mission? And go through the process. That's the first thing. The first thought that you can't bring with you into your future is, I'm not enough. You can't think that way. You have to stop believing that what you have isn't good enough. Who you are isn't good enough. Where you went to school wasn't good enough. Where you lived at is not good enough. You are good enough because there's something special inside of you. You just haven't figured it out. The second thing is that, you know what, Gerald? I understand that I'm enough. I get that. But it's always been this way. That's the second thing you can't bring into your future. You can't think that way. It's always been that way. Well, guess what? Crypto hasn't always been here. AI hasn't always been here. There's lots of things that have not been here before. So when you say, well, it's always been that way, well, guess what? Things can always change. Things are always changing. So when you say it's always been that way, no, you've always seen it that way. You've only experienced that way. Guess what? That's like saying that everything you've experienced is bad. No, everything that you come across has been bad. That doesn't mean every experience in life is bad. Just because something's always been a certain way doesn't mean it's always going to be that way. And the sooner you realize that possibility is possible, the sooner you realize the audacity of hope, the sooner you realize that things can change just like that, is the moment your life changes forever. You know what? Because you start to believe in a possibility. You start to believe in a future greater than yourself. So stop saying that it'll always be like that. No, it won't. Things have always changed. We went from horse and buggy to now cars and EV, electric vehicles. So don't tell me things will have always been this way. Well, guess what? They won't. Things will change. Things will absolutely change in your life, and you need to get ready for that. You need to get ready for change, because guess what? Whether we realize it or not, whether you're ready or not, whether you are seeing what's happening in society today, life is changing, and things will not always be the way that they are. And things will always change, and things will always be different. So I encourage you and inspire you to welcome change, embrace change. Know that change is a great thing, because it forces you to see things differently. It pushes you out of your comfort zone. It allows you to grow and get out of your space and step into the river of change and see what's possible. But you can't do that if you're stuck in the mindset of, well, Gerald, things have always been that way, Gerald. So, I'm just not buying that. Things can change, and so can you. The last thought that you cannot take into the future with you, the last process of thinking, this is the third one, is that I need their approval. Gerald, my family doesn't approve of me stepping into this new job, this new venture. My husband doesn't approve. My mother doesn't approve. My father doesn't approve. My friends don't approve. Listen, this is your life journey. It's not theirs. And you don't need anyone else's approval to live the life that God has called you to live. You don't need their approval. You know whose approval you need? You need God. You need yourself. You need your own confidence, your own assurance, because no one was sent to live this life but you. This is your journey. This is your choices. And I encourage you to live boldly, live courageously. As a matter of fact, I encourage you to live out your highest dreams. I encourage you to take your dreams and bring them down to reality and focus in and say, you know what? I know what wasn't possible for my mother. I know what wasn't possible for my father, but I know that God has a plan for me. And I'm willing to explore what God has for me before I give up. I'm willing to step into the river of change and see if it's possible to step on the other side. I'm willing to go through this so I can get through to the other side. I'm willing to take the test. I'm willing to go through the process of the job. I'm willing to do whatever it takes because I don't need someone else's approval. I need my own purpose, my own passion. You don't need approval. You need practice, practicality, purpose, and passion. And I hope this message resonates with you. I hope something I've said today, whether it's realizing that you are enough, whether it's realizing that things can always change, and whether it's realizing that you have something special inside of you, that you don't need anyone's approval because God has already set his approval inside of you. When you realize that you have a special gift, a special talent, and if you don't know what that special gift and talent is, you can reach out to me and say, Gerald, can we do a coaching session, a one-on-one, so I can just figure out what my purpose is, what my passion is, where I'm going and where I need and where I need to head. If you need one-on-one coaching, reach out to me and say, hey, Gerald, what can I do to get a session with you? I'm here. How can I help? So I hope this adds value. I hope I'll see you guys on the other side. Make sure you subscribe. Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next session. This has been another episode of Fearless Conversations. See you guys soon.